recommend.
I have a good Halloween story for you, though, that comes from my buddy Jeff Conaway. We used to spend Halloweens together, and he would put on his T-Bird jacket from Greece, the jacket, which should probably be in the Academy Museum somewhere, but I'm sure a girlfriend's got it. And he would throw on a werewolf mask, and he would terrorize kids. And his wife, my wife, we would all get together for Halloween, and they would always argue. His wife always wanted to watch Amityville Horror after the trick-or-treating was done. Jeff and I always wanted something like Dracula or the Universal Monster Machine, and we get into an argument. And he goes, I've got a real ghost story. And we were like, okay, tell us. My wife, by the way, and I were dressed as Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings.
Nice.
So I remember that vividly that year. We actually were in costume, and we ended up at a great Halloween party later. More on that on another episode, but he goes, I've got a ghost story. I bought Jane Mansfield's old house once upon a time, or he was living there, renting it, or he bought it. And he goes, one day, and he goes, and I would see her ghost around the house. Wow. And I didn't want to tell anyone because I would sound crazy. Now, that's interesting because at this point, Jeff Conaway was considered pretty crazy, although we loved him. But it's interesting that he didn't want to say that because that would make him come off as crazy. And he goes, one day I was walking my dog, and walking up the road, walking his dog is Anthony Perkins, Psycho fame. And so we stopped, we talked, we introduced ourselves. He had seen Grease or something like that. And we visited, and Anthony Perkins, after finding out where I moved to, what address I moved into, says, oh, have you seen her recently? And Jeff goes, what do you mean? And Anthony Perkins says, well, I used to know the previous owners, and I'd be up there for dinner on occasion, and we would see Jane Mansfield's ghost. And so Conaway was like, I have seen it. And they kind of had a conversation about this. Fun about the story, of course, is that it's the star of Psycho telling the star of Grease, who was also, Jeff Conaway was in not only Pete's Dragon, but the Elvira movie. And telling him about the ghost they had both seen of legend Jane Mansfield in her house. So happy Halloween from Jeff Conaway. I know for a fact that was the story you were all waiting to hear, right?
I'm Mr. Floats. NMOSD can blind you, paralyze you, or even kill you in a matter of minutes. But we're close to a cure. With our cure comes a cure for cancer. Go to the Gussie Jackson Foundation. Donate today. Thank you.